Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Pretty exciting stuff as far as game preservation is concerned in this video. We're going to be talking about one game that got unceremoniously shut down last year in the crew. Man, this caused quite the stir last year, and I feel like it has... it was the reason why a lot of people took notice of game preservation, stopped killing games, etc., because the crew isn't that old of a game. There are so many people that spent a lot of money on the game. There were deluxe editions, ultimate editions, etc., and Ubisoft being one of those studios that's at the forefront of charging you like $130 for deluxe editions and then unceremoniously shutting down a game. Very much a cause for concern, but the fan-made Crew Revival gets a release date. We'll talk about that as, again, this is fan-made, no credit to Ubisoft. Fan-made, the Crew Revival has gotten a release date. As noted on Rock Paper Shotgun, the developers behind The Crew Unlimited, a community project that aims to make Ubisoft's racer The Crew playable again following its unceremonious shutdown last year, have announced a release date. Crew shut down last year in March of 2024, so it's been about 18 months. For a year or so, the Crew Unlimited devs have been working towards the goal of reviving the Crew. They've now announced a release date for their creation, which compromises of a server emulator designed to stand in for those Ubisoft took offline. As per an announcement on Discord from project lead Whammy4, it'll come out on September the 15th and be distributed for everyone for free to minimize the chance of the publisher directing their lawyers to intervene. Please, Ubisoft, you've already eradicated so much of your goodwill. You eradicated a ton of your goodwill by shutting down the Crew. You're making $0 out of the Crew 1 at this point. I guess you could make the argument, oh, they're gonna take away attention from the Crew 2 because so many people are invested into the Crew 2 and they're buying those microtransactions on the Crew 2 and Crew Motorfest. I guess maybe they could look at it that way, but guess what, Ubisoft, you've destroyed your goodwill. People hate you. People legitimately hate Ubisoft. Every time I do a deals video, giving a shout to Assassin's Creed Rogue, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, people in the comments section, and again, small sample size for my videos, but let's be honest, when Ubisoft has spewed the vitriol that it gets these days, it's not just a vocal minority. Yes, it is important to differentiate whenever it's a vocal minority and it's a actual significant amount of people. As far as Ubisoft is concerned, it's a significant amount of people that clown on them these days. How well did Avatar Frontiers of Pandora do? Not that well. How well did Star Wars Outlaws do? Not that well. They paid a lot of money for those licenses. You can say Assassin's Creed Shadows did well. I would argue at this point it was still disappointing relative to Ubisoft's expectations out of the game, but you know, I'm not here to have that debate because that debate can go along all day. Ubisoft does not have a lot of goodwill. That's what I'm getting at, and right now, they should not be trying to destroy any more of their goodwill. It's one thing about Rockstar going out, like GTA 6 is going to be a megaton of a game. Nobody cares. It's ultimately going to be a gigantic release, but Ubisoft, I think, especially in this case, it's like, dude, you shut down the game. People just want to preserve the game that you literally had people pay a lot of money for, and then you ultimately shut down. So stay out of this one, please. The developers noted, we were trying everything we could, anything to preserve the game, noted on Crew Unlimited's website. We eventually came to the conclusion that writing a server emulator for the Crew was the best and only solution. This would allow us to effectively implement both an offline mode and an online mode back into the game. Offline mode simply being a local server running on your computer while playing the game. Your local server, your local save games, your game. No one will ever be able to take this away from you. The Crew Unlimited, you'll be able to get it from the same site. Obviously, it won't be available on Steam or anything like that, and it is what it is, and you'll need to have owned the Crew on PC before to access it, as the devs won't be illegally distributing game files, but you know, you can figure that one out on your own. I do have a copy of the Crew on PC, and you can still install the game, I believe. It's just when you boot it up on Steam, you won't get anywhere, so hopefully this will be a way of them preserving the game and Ubisoft won't get involved. In a Discord discussion linked in the FAQ, the devs have made some notes about what works in terms of re-downloading your old The Crew save files. Players might be wanting to just start the game from scratch if you do want to do that, and if you want to play totally offline, the ideal way would be from starting from scratch. But at the very least, they're doing something to preserve the game, and you always love to see something like that. You know, Ubisoft's a bit of a clown show at times, and this definitely gave them a kick in the butt, given that they did implement offline components to Crew 2 and the Crew Motorfest, and they realized they effed up with this. But, you know, again, I clown on Ubisoft a lot of you guys clown on Ubisoft a lot. I do get the vibe they're trying to rebuild some of their goodwill. It's gonna take an arduous long time because that goodwill that Ubisoft once had, there was a time that Ubisoft was beloved in the gaming community. I know that sounds absolutely insane to you guys, but in the late 2000s, I do believe Ubisoft was one of those publishers that people were fond of. However, it took years and years and years of obliterating that goodwill. This did not happen overnight. This started in 2016, 2015, and it continued on for years and years and years and years, and then the mediocre game after mediocre game, microtransaction-riddled single-player titles, $130 Ultimate Editions. Like, I had my bug outs over Ubisoft's $130 Ultimate Editions a long time ago with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I vividly remember that, but it wasn't really until Star Wars Outlaws about, 9 months later that people really started to bug out. And I'm sure I was bugging out about Ubisoft well before Avatar Frontiers of Pandora as well. I just vividly remember seeing Avatar Frontiers of Pandora's Ultimate Edition price point and being like, brother, what is going on here? This is a real problem, and we cannot be having $130 Ultimate Editions or Gold Editions, whatever they want to call it, and, them being priced that highly. And then you're talking about games that have these crazy Ultimate Editions that they have the power to shut down as well. Avatar, Star Wars are single-player games, but what about other titles? What about a Division 2? What about the online-only games that they put out, which Ubisoft, are desperate. Steep came out a while ago, and that game still has its servers online, but that's a game that they could shut down at some point. I believe Steep, you have to be connected to the online servers at all times when playing the game. Like, that's ridiculous, and I don't believe they've implemented an offline component to Steep. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but you get the idea. Ubisoft has so much power to do so much with their games in the sense of, they're charging $130 for these games, and I know The Crew 1 wasn't $130 for its highest end edition, but what I'm getting at is that they charge a premium for these games, and then this is how they treat their games. It's insane. And if they come in and then decide to shut down Crew Unlimited, for what? That would be absolutely ridiculous, and that would be a story people would follow. I think people will always take a good opportunity to dunk on Ubisoft, but at that point, that would just be absolutely ridiculous for people that spent a year trying to preserve a game that Ubisoft shut down, only for Ubisoft to come in and shut down the preservation of the game that people worked a year on for. Like, that would just be insane. But that's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.